Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar for 10 to 13-year-old girl guides in Western Australia. Just as a reminder, please keep your chat to your guide laws, and please put questions in the Q&A. We will answer them as soon as we can. Thank you for joining us today. Today's a bit exciting. We're actually going to go to Japan. So our very first job is we've got to get to Japan. Joining me today, I have Gecko and Magpie, and they're going to help us fly to Japan. So has everyone got their passports ready? And today your passport is just this. So if you've got a hand, then you've got a passport. Okay, all right, so let's climb aboard the plane. Hello, I am Captain Tigerlily. Welcome on board our flight to Tokyo. My co-pilots are Captain Gecko and Captain Magpie, and we are about to head off. So cabin crew, can you please cross-check and lock the doors, and we will get on our way. Okay, let's go. Ooh.
Tigerlily, we don't have any sound. It may be that you've muted yourself.
Whenever seated in case of sudden turbulence.
機内は通路、化粧室を含め禁煙です。
Smoking is strictly prohibited on this flight.
電波を発する状態の電子機器は使用できません。
Use of any electronic devices that emit radio waves is prohibited.
電源を切るか、機内モードなどに設定します。
Please turn them off or set them to airplane mode.
緊急時は乗務員の指示に従ってください。
In case of emergency, please follow our instructions.
酸素マスクが出てきたら、強く引いて鼻と口に当てます。
If oxygen masks appear, pull the mask toward you and place it firmly around your nose and mouth.
ゴムバンドを頭にかけ、長さを調節します。
Place the band over your head and adjust.
衝撃に備える姿勢をとります。
In the unlikely event of impact, take a protective brace position.
救命胴衣は座席下または横にあります。
Your life vest is located under or beside your seat.
頭からかぶり、留め具をかけ、しっかりと締めます。
Put the life vest over your head, fasten the buckle, and tighten the strap.
非常口で引き手を引いて膨らませます。
Pull the tab to inflate the life vest when exiting the aircraft.
膨らみが足りないときは、チューブから息を吹き込みます。
If necessary, blow into the tube to inflate the life vest.
前と後ろの非常口を確かめてください。
Check the location of the emergency exits in front of and behind you.
脱出時に荷物は持たないでください。
Leave your baggage when you evacuate.
荷物を持つと通路を塞ぎます。
Carrying baggage will block the aisle.
荷物やハイヒールでスライドが破れ、使えなくなる恐れがあります。
Baggage and high-heeled shoes may damage the slide.
脱出時の正しい姿勢です。両手を伸ばして前傾を意識し、必ず着地点を見て滑ります。
When sliding down, stretch forward your arms, incline your body forward, and look at the landing point.
スライド下での援助をお願いします。
We will ask you to assist other passengers after sliding down.
すぐに飛行機から離れます。
Move quickly away from the aircraft.
安全のしおりもご覧ください。
Please review the safety instructions leaflet.
どうぞごゆっくりお過ごしください。
We wish you a pleasant flight.
Okay, well, sorry everyone. Okay, well, I think we're here. We've arrived in Japan. So in Japan at the moment, it's the Northern Hemisphere, so it's actually almost into their summer. Today was our first day of winter. Today's their first day of summer. So next we're going to have a little look at their first day of summer. Actually, first of all, I'm going to show you the sakura blossoms, which are in bloom at the moment, and they're beautiful. So let's do that. And I need to... How beautiful. Oh, I keep forgetting. Sorry, everyone. How beautiful are those cherry blossoms? They're just so lovely, and all those other things. Now, the other thing we need to do is quickly go to a summer festival. You guys ready to go to a summer festival? I think we might find some food, and there's some really delicious food. If we were actually doing this in the unit, Gecko and I would have made you cook us something delicious. So aren't you lucky you don't have to cook? So this is the food portion of going to Japan. I'll just find it.
dressed like this today, and that's because I've come to a local area and there's actually a summer festival happening here. So I want to show you guys what it's like in Japan to go to a summer festival, so come with me. By the way, you don't have to look at this, so I'll be like walking really funny. So today we have come to a local neighborhood in Tokyo called Kagurazaka. There are a lot of cool back alleys and hidden gems in this area. We're nearly there! But today we are going to check out the biggest summer festival held in this area, the Kagurazaka Summer Festival. To get here, just get off at Iidabashi Station and take the B3 exit, and that's the street right in front of you. So there are many festivals held throughout the year in Japan. However, the summer festivals has got to be my most favorite. So most of them happen in July or August. So if you're around Japan during that time, definitely go check it out. The one I went to had a winter cherry market, and in Japan these seeds are used as part of the Bon Festival as offerings to guide the souls of the dead. Apart from that, there are many food stores for you to enjoy Japanese street food. I got this mizu manju, which is a summertime Japanese confection. It has a jelly-like appearance and red bean filling. Look at this! It's water! Mizu manju! Mizu manju! This is my first time eating this. Ooh, it's like jelly. Itadakimasu. Red bean inside. Wow, it's really refreshing for summer. Oishii. I just love how fun and lively the environment is, but just be aware there may be a lot of people. Next, we gotta get the Japanese summer drink, lemonade. Lemonade basically comes from the English word lemonade. Now, this may seem like your average bottle, however, there's a special way of opening this. There's a marble at the top to block the gas from coming out, so you have to push it down before you can drink it. It's a fun way to open something, and it's one of the modern symbols of summer in Japan, and it's widely consumed during hot festival days and nights. And this is the marble that gets pushed in. As the evening falls, the lights turn on and the summer festival turns into a whole different atmosphere.
Let's go pray.
The lanterns turn on, and look at this view from the shrine. People start to finish work and the crowds come in, and it just starts to get more lively. You can smell the good food from the food stores, and I just love the energy of Japanese when they are selling, and you just want to cheer them on. Look at the crowds, everyone's getting hungry. Traditional performances start, and apparently if you catch this candy, it will bring you good luck. So thank you for watching until the very end. I hope you could see how a Japanese summer festival is like, and if you would like to go to one of
Okay, so we've been to a summer festival. I'm sure you guys really enjoyed that. I know I definitely did. It was actually really interesting to see that they eat chicken skewers and sausages and bacon and chicken legs. And yes, they do have sashimi and sushi and all sorts of amazing different things. And what about the miso mishu, the agar agar with red beans? That looks really yummy. And if you guys ever try it, we do get agar agar in Australia, and you can actually set that. It's amazing stuff. You can actually set that without a refrigerator. So it's something that you can set without a fridge. All right, let's move on. Let's go now to meet the Japanese Girl Scouts, because that's kind of why we're here. Now, the really exciting thing about the Japanese Girl Scouts is that they've been operating for 100 years. So they started in 1920 and now it's 2020. So they're celebrating their centenary. And part of this badge, the Olympia Badge, which is backwards because I'm on selfie mode, but the Olympia Badge is all about Girl Scouts being 100 years old. And also the Olympics is happening in Japan now next year. It was going to happen in July this year, but because of COVID, they're not having it until next year. So that actually is interesting because everything's built and it's all ready to go. They've just had to put it off, which is amazing. All right, so next thing to look at is Japanese Girl Scouts. Let me take you there so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts website, and this is the details for Girl Scouts of Japan. They have 28,404 Girl Guides in 2018. They are a founding member of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. Only girls, and they redid their promise not that long ago. So they say, I promise to do my duty to God, meaning Buddha, be responsible for my community, my country and the world, try to be helpful to other people and live by the Girl Scout law. So the brownies, the juniors, the seniors and the Ranger Girl Scouts and adult members say that. Now, you girls would be equivalent to junior scouts, and then it says, I am a Girl Scout. I look and listen carefully and be friendly to everyone. And that's the tenderfoot. So that's the tiny girls, the 5 to 6 year olds, which they're very, very cute. Now, let's see if I can find, no, that is the Girl Scout. Oh, I might not have it. Oh dear. No. Okay.
Magpie, there's a question in Q&A. You may know the answer to this question. Do you know how many Girl Guides there are in Australia?
I don't know how many in Australia. I think it's about 25,000, but I know that we've got just over 2,000 in Western Australia.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Goanna. Are there any other questions that we should really answer at this point?
Oh, so we have, are we going to eat food in Japan? Well, I think we've already answered that. We've just been to a market. We could have pretended to eat food, so I'm going with yes.
Yes, we had chicken skewers. They looked really good. I definitely had one of those sausages, and I definitely tried one of those confectionery things with a red bean. That was pretty awesome. Yeah.
And why do the chicken legs look gross? I didn't think they look gross, but we've all got a different tasting food, I suppose. So
yep, absolutely. They're just cooked differently. Yeah, that's all. But yes, I actually found the video now. Thank you, Gecko. I think I called you Goanna before. I don't know where that came from. Goodness me. So I will play this video now, which will tell us about the Girl Scouts. So this is the Japanese Girl Scout website, and this little video tells us all about the Girl Scouts. Okay, so there you go. That's how the Girl Scouts go, and that's a little peek with animation on how their uniforms go. So their uniforms are actually designated by their scarves. So they have different colours. You guys would have, I think, a green scarf, if I remember rightly. I think I got that right, or I might not have that right. But anyway, that's the Girl Scouts. Now, I've been having a little look at their website, and one of the main things that they're worried about is actually women being able to get into the workplace and have equality. Women's equality is still actually a big issue in Japan, and it is here to an extent too, most definitely, but really hugely there. What do I mean by women's equality? I mean, like, being able to get any job you want, not just a job that's only for women, all that kind of stuff. All right, that's a bit boring, Tigerlily. Let's move on. Okie dokie. Now, let's move on to the Olympia Badge. So here is the Olympia Badge. I've printed it out. If you guys hang around, you will have a head start on your Olympia Badge. You can then take it onto your units and hopefully be able to continue on with your units. Now, I was so lucky this week. I got to speak to a Japanese lady who helped me to go through the activities in the third part of this badge called theatre. So the Olympia Badge is split into three parts. The first part is learning about activities in the stadium, the Olympic sports. The second part is the temple and looking at Paralympic sports. And the third part is theatre. Now, these parts on the badge are always the same, but they change with the culture of the country that's hosting the Olympic Games. So if you're a bit lost and you've just come in, we're going to Japan because Japan is hosting the Olympic Games. They were hosting it in 2020 and now they're hosting it in 2021 because of COVID. So before I move on to that, are there any questions about what we've looked at so far? No? Okay, great. All right, let's move on to the next job, which is the video that I made with Miss Yuko, and she was so nice to talk to me about it. So let me just take this here and put it here. Alrighty, let's go.
Now, don't worry if you don't know how to do that. That's what I'm here for. Who needs some help?
I do.
Me!
Yay!
Me too. Oh my goodness. What are the Berenstain Bears doing? Whoopsie daisies.
Do you know how to do this, Too Tall?
Hi everyone, it's Tigerlily. How are you today? Today I have a very special guest. This is Yuko. Yuko grew up in Japan and now lives in Western Australia. And she's agreed to help us with our Olympia Badge. So this is the 2020 Olympia Badge, and we're going to look at a few of the activities in the pack. So first of all, we're going to look at furoshiki. Yuko, what can you tell us about furoshiki?
Yes, furoshiki is usually a piece of material wrapping things to carry.
Right.
So I just wrap tissue box in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just showing how you can carry like that. We often use to present gift to when you visit someone, or just to carry shoppings in this way.
Right, and do you leave the piece of material with the person if you're giving it as a gift?
No, we usually bring it back with us. Usually the cloth is quite small,
mm-hmm.
so once presented, then put it in a bag or pocket, then go home.
That's really sustainable, isn't it? It's a really good way of not using plastic and really interesting. Now, is there a trick to folding the material, or is it just gather it up and fold it?
We usually use the corner so that it stays, make handles to carry.
Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe show it is easy, so if the box is like that, then...
So corner to corner, right? Mm-hmm. Is that because you've got more surface area then?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
And put the other corners together to make handles.
Okay, and for those of you that know your knots, that's an overhand knot and a second knot, which makes it either a granny or you could even do a reef knot. And I think this one's a reef knot, so there you go. Cool, and then can we carry anything else?
Yes, something like bottles also.
So that would be handy if we wanted to carry a couple of water bottles with us.
Yeah, so what we do is just to maybe a little gap there.
Okay, so a little gap, and then just roll it up.
Put them together. Again.
Isn't that cool? That is so easy and amazing.
Again on top. Then you can carry 2 bottles.
Easy as. And would that also insulate the bottle, keep it cool or hot?
Yeah, I think so. When even the glass bottles, because they are material in the middle, it doesn't hit each other so hard.
So it's an easy way. Yeah, okay.
You can carry 1 bottle if you need.
So practical, so practical. All right, shall we move on to this game? This game is a very interesting game. The activity pack tells me it's something played around New Year.
Yes, Fukuarai is usually played in New Year and winter time. Many places in Japan have snow, so it's too cold to play outside, so indoor play.
Yes. Okay, so, and that's very different to here when we're at the beach and it's hot. So this is cool. So what do we do? How do we play this game?
Yes, so the player usually have blindfold. Then someone else set up the board and pieces of face features.
Right.
Sets of eyes, nose, cheeks, and lips. Then the players guess where the face is, place the face with blindfold on, so you don't know where the face goes.
Yes. Oh, that's so very funny.
How close you can get, that's what
Oh, that's so funny. So you could have an absolutely crazy face like that.
Exactly. So if you think the eyes were something else, then it could be totally different.
Right, and they're all very particular shapes. So if you're clever, are you allowed to feel?
You can feel, definitely.
Yeah, okay, cool. So if you're clever, you can feel, but you might be wrong still. You might put things in the wrong spot. Oh wow, that's very fun. So girls, when you go back to face guides, give this a go, and I'd love to see some videos. I think it'll be very funny. Yes, very interesting. All right, the last thing we are going to talk to you about, one of the last things is a kimono. And I have a doll, or we have a doll here, and she is dressed in traditional Japanese dress. How many layers is there?
Depending on the situation, casualty is some of the winter clothing, of course, layered more, but summer kimonos are just one piece and very thin material as well.
Yeah.
Tied with obi around the waist to keep it hold into place.
So an obi is like a waistband?
Yes, very wide belt.
A wide belt.
Yes.
And what are they made of normally? Are they made of wool or cotton?
Some are wool, but quite likely silk.
Silk.
Heavily patterned with flowers or traditional Japanese patterns.
Yeah, okay, lovely. And do men wear kimono as well?
Yes, they do. They don't wear as many layers, especially those, this doll I think maybe wearing the 12th.
Wow! Really? Oh my goodness! Can you imagine?
That's very, very special occasion, and that's even for the special type of people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Men's often single 2-3 max.
Yeah. Yeah.
The obi goes thinner, shorter in the length.
Yes. Okay. And do women wear these day to day in Japan, or is it more, as you said, a special occasion?
Not many people wears everyday clothing. But they are come back, so they are.
Oh, so they become trendy again.
Yes. So there are
go.
some people love to wear and also hunt for the old kimonos.
Yes.
From like second hand.
Oh, so it's almost you can find a vintage 1950s dress and you can find a vintage kimono and it's trendy. That's really interesting to know. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your insight, Yuko. We really appreciate you chatting with us today. Thank you. All right, guys, back to the webinar. Okay, girls, I hope you got some insight into that. I see, so just so you know, that's from the third lot of activities on the Olympia Badge, and you've had a look at activity number 1, activity number 2, and activity number 7. For your age group, you need to do 8 activities, 8 activities, and you need to look at, in those 3 different age groups, you need to look at different things. Now, one of the other things, and I've asked Magpie to hang around to help us with that, one of the other things is you need to possibly have a look at kanji or learn some Japanese language. Magpie, are you able to maybe tell us how to say hello, goodbye, how are you? I don't know, just some basic stuff. What do we need to know?
Yeah, sure. So can you hear me, first of all?
Yes.
Okay. So the basic hello is konnichiwa, which I think a lot of you would already know. Konnichiwa. You can have a practice.
Konnichiwa.
But they, a bit like us, they've got good morning and good afternoon and good evening. So at certain times of day, you wouldn't say konnichiwa. Like in the morning, you would say ohayo gozaimasu, which is good morning or morning greetings. And then in the evening, you would say konbanwa, which is a little bit like konnichiwa, but for evening time. So right now, I'd be saying konbanwa. Maybe pop your hand up if you learn Japanese at school or if you've learned Japanese before. We've got quite a few. So some of you will already know these words. That's awesome. And another one that you might want to know if you're in Japan is toilet, because that's a pretty important one to know how to ask about. And the good news is that toilet is very similar to the English. You just take the T off the end and you change the L to an R. So it's toilet, toilet. And if you go up to someone and say toilet, I'm sure they'll understand what you mean and they'll point you in the right direction.
Cool. Well, that's pretty awesome. That is actually super handy to know. Are the Japanese very casual, or are they very polite people?
They're very polite people. So you wouldn't, it's not like Australia where you might go up to someone and say, "G'day, mate, where's the dunny?" You'd have to go up and say, "Excuse me," in Japanese, "Excuse me, would you mind telling me where the toilet is?" And it's always very polite. The usual greeting, or when you're talking to someone or thanking them or saying goodbye or hello, you would do a bow. So you just hold your arms straight down at your sides and then bend at the waist. You don't have to go all the way down. It's just a kind of a little bend like that. That's it. But you drop your eyes when you're doing it.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's it. And lots of thank yous, lots of pleases, lots of excuse me's. They're not a very casual kind of people, but they're very, very kind and friendly and helpful.
That's very cool. Do we have any questions at all before we finish, Gecko? Gecko, you're muted.
Not relevant to where we are right now.
Okay. Okay, no worries. Not a problem at all. All right, does anyone have any questions for Magpie? No questions for Magpie.
Would they like to see a little bit of the writing?
Yes, please. I would.
Okay, so it's kind of like 3 different alphabets in Japanese, which makes it a bit harder to learn than just our one alphabet. Quickly share the screen and show you the different alphabets. So as you can see, the top one is called hiragana, and that one is kind of like your basic everyday Japanese alphabet. The next one, the boxy sort of pointy looking one, is called katakana, and that one is used for words that don't come from Japan. So do you remember a minute ago I mentioned the word toire? That would be written in katakana. And the third one, that's the hard one. Now, you know how we've got 26 letters in the alphabet? Kanji, there are thousands of them, and look how complicated they are. They really are quite complicated. You're supposed to write every little stroke in a particular order, and that is actually an alphabet that comes from China originally, but it is now used in Japan in combination with the other 2. So when you look at any piece of writing from Japan, generally it's going to be a combination of all 3 of those different types of alphabets.
Wow, that's just amazing. So what do the school children learn first? Surely they must go, do you know? Or
I don't know, but I would imagine that it would be the hiragana first, and then, but I think they probably start learning kanji even from a very young age.
You'd need to if there's thousands and thousands, I imagine. Wowee. Thank you for sharing that with us, Magpie. Are there any questions now, Gecko?
There is. I'm just finding them now. So we have 4 people with their hands up. So,
cool.
Eddie or Edie, I'm going to unmute you and you can ask your question.
Edie, what's your question? Have a go.
How have you ever been to Japan, or have you ever experienced one of the marketplaces?
I'm assuming you're asking me because I'm the one who's been speaking Japanese, but maybe all the leaders. I have not been to Japan, so I learnt Japanese when from the time that I was 12 right through high school. So I did my what's now the ATA in Japanese, and then I went to university and also studied it for another 3 years there. But can you believe it? I've never been to Japan. What a waste. I have to go.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Thanks, Edie.
Thanks, Edie. And we have Ava. Ava has a question. Ava, I'm going to unmute you. You should be able to ask your question any moment. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my question is there any like similar things in the language of Japanese, like similar to like English?
Well, there's lots of words that have been taken from different countries. So to give you an example, the word restaurant in Japanese is restaurant, and the word Australia in Japanese is Australia. Australia. Okay. Is that what you mean, Ava, or are you asking a different question?
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
There's lots.
Mm.
Thank you. And we have who have we got? We have Nairi. Nairi, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question.
you want to ask it?
My question is, what is your favorite word in Japanese?
Ooh,
Oh gosh.
that's good.
I love the word hanami because it actually is kind of a squished up word. It's got two words in it, hana, which is flower, and mimas, which is see. So hanami means flower viewing. So they've squashed the two together, which is really gorgeous.
That's
Oh,
quite
okay.
an important thing, isn't it, Magpie, the flower viewing and the
Yeah, that's a big
sakura.
deal in Japan, isn't it? And you could see why when you showed those pictures before.
Yeah, beautiful.
Nairi, I think maybe you speak a little bit of Japanese too. You've been posting a bit of Japanese.
No, I'm just going on to Google Translate, typing up something, and then copying it, and then copying the Japanese version, then pasting it into the chat.
Very clever.
Making use of her resources. Any more questions?
Thanks, Nairi. There is Lily. Lily C. Are you there, Lily? You should be able to talk. There you go, Lily.
Hi.
She's got a cat that's a neko. Neko.
My I have sort of a two-part question. Have any of you been overseas, and if so, where?
Oh, who wants to start? Tigerlily, you might as well start off.
I've been overseas extensively, but never to Japan. I've been to a lot of places, lots of places. Maybe we go with continents. I've been to Asia. I've been to Russia, which covers 2 continents. I've been to Europe. I've been to North America, but never South America. And I have not yet set foot in Africa either. So, but yes, I've been a lot of places. I've been to some of those big markets, like you saw pictures in Japan, but not in Japan. I've been to places in Vietnam, in Thailand, and in Cambodia. How about you guys?
I can't compete with that, so I'm not even going to try. I've been to a couple of places, but not many.
I've been to a couple, but not many. I've been to a couple in Europe and the UK.
I've been to Chile.
Sorry?
I've been to Chile or Chile.
Ooh, that's a great
fantastic.
Yeah, I was there for about the longest period of time I spent there was 6 months. And I learned how to speak a bit of Spanish.
Awesome. That is so good. Travel is such a good thing to do. It really broadens your mind. Yeah, definitely.
Was that the second part of your question, Lily?
Also, I have another thing. How many languages can you guys speak?
Just
I can't speak any.
You can't speak any. I thought you were speaking English then.
Well, yes, I can speak English, and my Auslan's touch and go, but other than that, and a tiny bit of Spanish, but only enough to go to the toilet and buy some food. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Lily. We've got 2 more with hands up. Do we have time to answer them?
Not really. No, sorry guys. Really sorry. But maybe, well, next week. Oh, that was the important thing we need to tell you. I almost forgot. So exciting news, guys. WA has said that we can start having meetings again face-to-face. But that will all depend on your unit leader. So our unit is, going to do different things to what your unit does. Most everyone will be back by term 3. But at this stage, you know, go and find out from your unit leader what your unit leader is going to do. In the meantime, these webinars will continue all the way through to week 10. So we will be here from 5 to 6 every Thursday. Oh, Thursday. It's not Thursday. Every Wednesday, and we'll still be here. Okay, so one of the things that I caught on the Japanese Girl Scout website was a song that we sing here. No, not the Harry Potter rap. It's called Make New Friends and Keep the Old. So it goes like this. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other gold. A circle's round, it has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend. And it's actually a song that they sing in Japan, and they sing it in, obviously in Japanese, not in English. But that's a really cool thing to know. So next time you're doing some sort of Japanesey thing, that they do sing that Make New Friends song. Okay, are you ready for taps? Shall we do our jazz hands and we'll go finish. Day is done, gone the sun, from the seas, from the hills, from the sky, all is well, safely rest.
Guides, good night.
Guides is nigh. Good night, everybody. And linking. And the strength of each link in the cable depends on the might of the chain. Who knows when you'll be tested, so live that you bear the strain. Unit dismissed, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, girls.